back with what I think is going to be a new repair. I just got this. Now, I had an Atari 600, but it was one of the many things I got rid of as I went to Costa Rica. And once I got here, I realized, heck, I have time to do this even more so. Why did I get rid of this stuff? So this time I got an 800. The guy said that it doesn't work, but the power light comes on. So let's find out what that's all about. He said the power supply, which he left in here, blew up. He tried to take a gander at it and gave up. Let's see what we got. I do like the fact I got a box this time. That's not bad. And it's not badly browned from age. Not bad. There's really not a scratch on it. Great condition. Oh, I can't say the same for the power supply. It looks like he tried to get into it and then realized the entire insides was potted and you can't do anything with it. But at least he did leave this part of it. One thing, since he said on eBay that the power supply was like that, I assumed that it wasn't going to be there because I don't think he had a picture of this. And the very same day I ordered a new power supply to replace this, and that should be here just within the next couple of days. But this is still usable because I can plug this in. And the other end, I don't know, I might put that on there, but I can put this on a power supply. He said, turn it on, the power light comes on. He thought he saw just for a minute something on the screen, mostly just kind of a refresh. There wasn't any kind of a quote computer screen. And he said it was like immediately gone. So I'm assuming we've got no picture whatsoever. So, well, let's get ourselves a little monitor, plug this into a power supply, and see what we get. All right, I've got everything jury-rigged. First, we got a green monochrome monitor hooked up to an RF2 composite output. Got a power supply over here. We're going to bring the power up slowly. I don't even know which direction's on or off on this thing. I'll take it up a couple of volts. Okay, that's on. Because we got a power light. Guy said it had a power light. Ah, look. There is something on the screen. Let me take it. Okay, we're at 5 volts. Worries me it says 1.7 amps since the original power supply was only supposed to output 1.5 amps. I guess that's why that went bad. But you can tell over there, there's an output on that screen. You know, I think I'm going to stop for a moment, make a composite video cable so I can bypass the tuner and get a much better picture of exactly what's going on before we open it up. So hold on. Okay, remember I didn't get any cables with this, so I had to make my own composite, just a 5-pin DIN. Up in the corner, there's the pinout. Just to get video, remember this monitor does not have audio, so we're just going to see and bypass the tuner and see what we've got. Nice dark screen. Well, I think the next thing is going to be open it up and see if we're getting 5 volts on the chips. So let's start. Okay. Ribbon cable on the right. Well, first glance, it looks nice and clean. Let's get a flashlight. Very clean, as a matter of fact. That's always a good thing. But we're going to have to get this shield off and see what's going on. So let's start unscrewing. Wow. Look at that. Let me zoom in. I gotta say, this board is as clean as the day it came out of the factory. No rust, and a big plus is no evidence of spillage. Let's take a look at the back. Very good. I mean, I don't see anything physically wrong. No rust on the card edge connector. No evidence of anybody hacking around. Very good. All right, well, I would say the first thing would be to hook up the power and see if we've got voltage on the chips. First, we'll check for voltages on the chips and the memory, and if we can't find anything there, I think we'll also go to take the memory out, put them through the tester, see how they're doing. So, plenty to do. I gotta add to this. I've never opened one up before. I don't think I opened my 600 up, but this is the first computer from the 80s I've ever seen where every single chip is in a socket. Every one. There isn't a chip on the board, the memory, the main chips. Even this 8-pin. I've never seen anybody put an 8-pin chip in a socket ever. Well, this is great. So if it's any of that, won't have to have any solder messes. Okay, I checked the supply voltages to the chips off camera because it would have just been a picture of the back of my head the whole time. And I was setting up for the next step, got my scope, and was getting ready to set up the camera. And in the meantime, doing all that, I still had power to the board. It was still on. And the next thing I knew, I laid my hand on the memory chips, and they were so hot, they were burning my hand. And I'm not kidding. So I think we've got a problem here. Luckily, if they are, these are 4564s. I've got plenty of those, so now I can read on them. They're 4564s with a 12. That means they're 120 millisecond. What I've got is 150, which is just fine as long as they're as fast or faster than the ones you need. You will be okay. Let's double check they're all in correctly. There are no pins that have been missed. And double check that they are all my new 15s. So, okay, all the memory is replaced. I had one extra in this tube, so we'll put it back. There we go. All right. Because right now we're going to be checking heat. Here's one thing that's a huge difference. It was pulling 1. I think it was pulling 1.8 amps, and now it's pulling 0.8 amps. Yeah, that's a big plus. I gotta make sure they don't get hot. The other chips, there's no craziness with heat. Nothing. There is warmth that you would expect from an IC that has no active cooling. So far, they don't seem to be getting hot. And that is a good thing. But, as you can see, we also still don't have a picture. You know, before I go down too much of a rabbit hole, I'm going to do something that I should have done at first. I didn't check all the memory that I put in at the beginning. Now, even though I'm like positive that it's all good, it's a step you shouldn't skip. So, got my tester right here, and we're going to see. Holy cow. No way. Let's reset it and test it again. It says it's testing bad. That really be it? Maybe boneheaded enough not to test RAM. I've got one left in my tube here. I don't know if I've got any more other than this. I hope there isn't any more bad. Let's see what we can. Holy cow. That's it. That's it. Oh my God. Well, that shows you. Because I worked with these plenty on the TRS-80 Model 2. I could have sworn I went through them all and got rid of any bad ones because, you know, every time you buy a bunch of these 40, 50-year-old chips, you're going to have one or two bad. But I also moved since the last time I used these. Maybe some of the bad ones got mixed up. Maybe I threw a couple of good ones away and kept a couple of bad ones. I don't know. Let's hook it up to, since this is just a monochrome monitor with no sound, let's hook it up to a TV and see if we've got good color and sound. All right, hooked up to a TV so we can get some color and hopefully audio. Let's see what we got. Good deal, correct color. Sounds like we had a sound, because yep, that's good. Let's put it in self-test mode, which would be hold down the option key while turning it on. Oh, good deal. Self-test is working. ROMs are good. And we'll probably have to speed this up. it still seems a little odd to me that all the memory, every single one of them was shorted. I've never seen anything like that. Doubling the power pulling from the power supply, which is what burned it out since it was a 1.8 amp and it was pulling over 2. As you can see, it's still pulling only 0.87 amps, which is totally normal for this type of setup. So it looks like it's working great. I'm glad you could join me for my first repair here in Costa Rica. I hope you'll join me again, and I'll see you soon.